So Jennifer Partridge speaks about how we have different kinds of boundaries. First of all, we have physical boundaries, which reflect our bodies. Then we have time boundaries, the body, physical boundaries, which reflect through time, energy levels, space, rest, and body. Then we have energetic boundaries. This is protecting our emotional field, staying centered, not absorbing what's not mine. Mental boundaries around which respect my capacity, my focus, and my internal clarity. Spiritual boundaries is connecting your connection to inner wisdom and spiritual boundaries, and and then digital boundaries, which is choosing when and how to engage online, or respond, or how to stay reachable. In the Tanakh, Shmuel 1:25-29, which is Samuel, it says, "He shall sling out the souls of your enemies as out of the hollow of a sling," and this would be considered like a type of Gehenna, where someone's actually like flung. It's a kind of purification. There's a book called Life with Hope, the second edition, page 3. It says, derelict doesn't just describe someone without belongings or a home or a job, but also someone who, something neglected. It could be the soul, misused, the body, left behind, which are our goals and dreams that were in our capabilities. So we can get hope back, and we can not neglect our soul, misuse our body, or leave behind our goals and dreams. Then I want to share from Efraim Palvanov. He's a scientist and a Torah teacher, and he talks about the 19 vital elements on the periodic table also correspond to the gematria, the numerical value of Chava. She's the mother of life. Then he talks about there's a scale of here we could see Hashem in everything. So Hashem, the 4-letter tetragrammaton name is 26, and the numerical value. So the precession of the equinoxes, this is the cycle of constellations where the earth has a wobble. It's a 26-degree axial precession. There's a celestial sphere, and then there's sort of the precessional circle that goes between the earth, and it sort of goes in a little wobble, a little circle. It's called the precessional circle. And you have the autumn side and the vernal side. I think that's to do with the fall and the spring. And you literally see, like, in the circle, it's like all the constellations: Libra, Virgo, Leo, Cancer, Gemini, Taurus, Aries, Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorn, Sagittarius, Scorpio, with Earth. It's actually 25,920 years. Then we have 26 bones, and this is a smaller scale, 26 bones in each foot, 26 vertebrae in the spine, 26 bones protecting our respiratory system, 24 ribs. 26 bones protecting the respiratory system, which is made up of 24 ribs, the hyoid, and the sternum. The hyoid is actually holding together the voice box, the larynx, and the trachea. You have your mandible, right? This is the mandible. And then you have a hyoid bone, and underneath you have your larynx. So find your voice box where you talk. And then you have the hyoid bone, which holds that, and the trachea. And on the tiniest scale, we have the space between the base pairs, which is of DNA, is a distance of 26 nanometer. There's 3 most common DNA forms: A DNA, B DNA, and Z DNA. 26A is A DNA spaces. And then, we're going to talk about iron, an element. So it says the 26th element makes blood red, iron, and it happens to be the core of the earth is 85% iron, which is element 26, and it makes our muscles red and allows us to breathe. Iron is holding on to the oxygen. Hemoglobin in the blood, myoglobin in the muscles, and its most stable nucleus. It has 26 protons, and Hashem blew the soul in, so we think about our breath. I wanted to learn. Then we have learning about anxiety. So I look at it as like trapped energy with nowhere to go, and violence could let it out as an acting out of fight or flight, but that doesn't cure. It's just a temporary override. Violence actually simulates danger, during which the body releases natural pain relief, and we can escape from it. It can feel like a corrective experience, but there's other options for alchemy and acting out violence without a victim. For example, objects, motions, punching bag, wrestling, a rage room. On Instagram, there's a few different accounts I wanted to share from. So Hire the Greatest on Instagram. Being with a nonchalant partner usually means You're carrying the emotional weight of the relationship. You initiate conversations, seek clarity, ask for reassurance, explain why effort matters while they're remaining comfortable doing bare minimum. This applies to both men and women. No one deserves to feel like they're asking for too much simply for wanting communication, consistency, affection, or emotional involvement. Wanting to feel chosen is not insecurity, it's human. The relationship mindset on Instagram says the right man will fight for you, not against you, and he'll choose growth over losing someone he can't replace. That's not strength, it's weakness, and weak men would rather lose a good woman than admit that they need to change. And M.A. Ananda Sarita, so MAANANDASARITA on Instagram says, ego says, I'll pull back so they feel how much they hurt me. Love says, I say how I feel and what I need. I choose repair instead of punishment. Ego says, if I show how much I care, they'll have power over me. Love says, my honesty is my strength. It shows me who can meet me and who cannot. And when we think about relationship, we also have to embrace our partner's Yetzer Hara, which means their evil inclination. This is how we have to find their innocence. I got this from Avi. He calls himself Coach Avi. I don't know if I'm the only person he ever worked with, but his name is Avraham Eliezer rieber. And I found this to be very interesting. I've heard different versions of this, but never so simple. And I was thinking whether the person doesn't want to keep the Sabbath or kosher, or they're impulsive or possessive, or they have control issues, or they're destructive, or they curse, or they speak gossip like Lashon Hara. We have to accept that. And then I want to share 3 more things over here. So first of all, Japanese couples, I found this out online. I don't have a source for it, but you could look it up. So they say, I will not harm you with my hot mind. It's the Japanese culture. They deliberately sit in silence together to calibrate when they're not during the spike. They resolve emotion after the nervous system resets rather than breaking the marriage because of communicating while dysregulated. They don't talk while arguing, while activated in their limbic system. Their heart rate, cortisol, and breath rhythm mirror each other and amplifies conflict. However, this is where they got it from. In labs in Kyoto, so it's a place, you'd have to find out which, couples show that a calm brain understands and an activated brain attacks, and that physiological arousal can resolve in 4 to 7 minutes, where both regain prefrontal function. So I went to a 12-step meeting on relationships so I could let go of the false self, the ego, the inadequacy, the games, the masks, like what I was no longer engaging in. So first of all, playing stupid, interrupting, emotional control via escalation, and end up regulation, perverting, twisting situations to fit an agenda, manipulations, and I'm saying not in me, and not engaging with someone else, turning everything into an argument, convincing me of their assumptions and projections that they're real, turning everything into an argument, guilty until innocent, guilting, shaming, owe them something, escalation via intensity, and friction and drama, dishonesty, disrespect, where only I have to take accountability, where they want to be treated as high value but don't know what's valuable to me, someone saying I don't like someone saying or doing what I don't like on purpose, making excuses for someone not meeting my needs, making excuses for them, accusations, making up stories, punishing, trying to be my authority, or talking too much about me, my feelings, my history, my life, telling me who I am, the patterns of victim, martyr, villain, scapegoat, or hero, someone who treats me like a means to an end, like an object, just here for convenience or benefit or pleasure or soothing, someone who's inconsistent or has a lack of integrity, and someone with an absence of concern, curiosity, or interest. I went to another 12-step meeting on substances. So instead of relationships, like sometimes we take out the relationship, we look at the substances. So whatever it is in your life you might rush to, whether it's a phone or a drug or a food or whatever. So I was thinking a lot about attitude of gratitude. Is all about slowing down, savoring, not rushing, and the idea that I was willing to do something, step out of my value for someone, and they ended up abandoning me anyway. Like I did it for them. So I did connection, but I did it at the cost of self-abandonment, which I can't do anymore. It doesn't work for me. And also when I was using this, whatever it was, to escape, it was it kept me company when I was isolated and I was afraid of other people who could expose me. I was having a double life, and it was taking away my clarity, my focus, and it was distracting me, and I felt a lot of fear versus safety and the loneliness, and safety from fear, and also like when I stopped using it, it was like a lot of safety, but also the fear came up to be felt, and a lot of crying, but because the loneliness came up to be felt. And then this idea of limitations, not accepting, in terms of acceptance and humanity versus cruelty, and like in terms of having a target or placing an image on another, like a projection, good, bad. And also the idea that we have to feel our own necessary experiences and take the best care of ourselves, dwelling in reality, and how relationships shift. There's less transactions and slavery when we don't make it all about me or all about you. We can see and hear each other. We don't want control or abuse dynamics. And thinking about how doubt, inner conflict, manipulations, testing, how it's contagious and could bring us to reactivity, being triggered by the uncertainty, and that could spike cortisol, and it affects people around us. And we can start to look at it as like when the dark fights back, it's our other, so it becomes our own worst enemy. It's me in the other, and this is when it takes the energy of the light. So sometimes we don't want to give our energy to be used against us. We don't even want to dwell on it, focus on it, or deal with it too much. So that's all for today. Wish you all the best. Bye.